And they talked about what they were going to do. We've been over the other side, we're going to come north. And that old man got up and said, you may come over there, he said.
All right.
But there's going to be some dead bodies laying in the lawns.
That's right.
And they didn't come home.
That's right. That's right.
I remember that real well.
Yeah, and then remember when we went to City Council?
Yeah.
And we had our 9 points, and Reverend Williams got up on the 9th point and said that the illegal number men are coming, going door to door like the milkman.
Yeah.
And I don't know who was chair of council, and he jumped up and said, "You can't say that. You can't say that because public safety Rosenberg isn't here." And Bill very quietly said, "I talked to department, the safety, and he he was supposed. He told me he was going to be here today. When I came, they said he was out of town. They recessed council, and and go find him. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, for a month we couldn't pucker up our lips to say number in Homewood, you know. but when you think back over what you did, and there were so many people at City Council, that there was no more room outside of City Council for people. But but we marched and we researched and but just like I said, but you got to look at that chicken hawk, that power. Now, who has the power?
Right.
And and it becomes different.
And I work for Action Housing. They were deciding that they'd like me to go to Keys Rocks, I think it was, and Cunningham said. I said, "Oh, okay, I'll go."
I got the news article where Jen Cunningham is coming to Homewood to help Homewood.
Yeah, you did, right?
Yes.
Well, he said, "I'm going to see him in Keys Rocks." I said, "Oh, that'll be nice." I said, "Now." At the time, there was a power broker out there, politician.
Yeah.
And I said, the first guy I'm going to see, I'm going to meet with him. And then the church was pretty strong in them. Do you know what he did? Never mentioned it again. I guess he figured I'm going to go over and start trouble. Yeah. Because I thought, that's where you go to the power bases.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, well, anyway, it was fun.
How about our friend, Bob
Bolden, and the people in the construction business don't even understand. It was Bob and the planning director that Bob got friends with, because we found that our contractors couldn't be bonded, and we came up with a bonding program. And
what was that called? The bonding program?
I don't even know, but all I know is that we did, we came up with a program so that they could be bonded, and then that's how we got black contractors in with URA to begin to rehab houses. That's right. Yeah, so you have to pick your place. And so sometimes it's at the strategy table, sometimes it's out in the street.
Right.
How about the Troika? That's what we were called. Troika, the three of us, Bob Bolden, you, and myself. Remember, they called us the Troika, the three of us working.
The Troika?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
We got to Hines. We went out to Hines and found out that people weren't being moved, and here the big shots took us to lunch even. Remember that? And we said, well, it's not happening. All we know is that woman who was the head of human resources, either they fired her or she disappeared or something, and then people moved up. And the reason we know it because they came back and told us that they were moving up.
That wasn't the mean we had down the Liberty, not in East Liberty, Shady side?
No, we were at Hines. They were treating us royally. We were the quiet group,
Okay.
The other group was waiting if they.
That was.
We were the Troika with dignity.
We came in.
No, we didn't do any hollering. Nothing like that.
No, neither did we.
We were very diplomatic.
Yes.
Except when it didn't work.
But the thing about it is, Bob Bolden and I, we were the radical.
Yeah.
Dick was the one that was always telling us, now listen, it might not work. And Bob and I would be arguing, yes, it will work. And Dick would say, how?
Yeah.
We had to show him how it was going to work. And in order for him to tell us that he'll be with us, because remember we were talking about we were the troika. I miss that, Dick. I really do.
It's so great to hear.
Oh,
It's so great to hear. Thank
those
y'all.
those are those Kodak moments that you're catching that will be historically.
How about the health center? Why his own? The government would have had that, but Bob was smart enough to figure it out, and they paid it off.
Yes.
That's how that Alma Elderly Center is out.
And then they changed the name. It was Homewood Varsity Health Center. I went to my daughter had gone to Tennessee A&I, and we went to homecoming, and she introduced me to a friend of hers whose mother was running around trying to get this information, and I asked her, for what, and she said for a health center. So I said, well, how do you do that? She said to heal Burgh back. And I came back and I told Kiernan, and Kiernan said, he told Mo Coleman, to call Gerson Green in Washington to send us a copy of the RFP. And Kiernan and Bob and I wrote that proposal on my living room floor and sent it to Washington. But then Dr. Greenlee got mad because the money had to come through Pittsburgh Hospital.
You're right. Because I was one of the first ones they trained as a mental health expediter.
Right, but black doctors didn't have visiting rights.
Right.
And so Greenlee, he partnered up with Bowie to picket Pittsburgh Hospital. But we finally got it. Because the money was there, and then we had a group of people. Floyd Coles is dead now, developed the and so we had a health center, but then it was Dr. Young, some of your relatives that they wanted to get into to run the center.
And Dr. Stewart.
Dr. Stewart. It wasn't Young, it was Dr. Stewart. Dr. Young was a psychiatrist.
Right.
Oh, Lord.
And we had a meeting there one time in the board meeting. We were planning it. The chairman was a millionaire at Pittsburgh Hospital. I can't remember, I think it was the Dick Constructor. I can't remember. He's chairing the meeting. And we had made a deal that you don't have any kind of thing, tape recorders or nothing. So Greenlee was a gadget guy. So we're sitting there, and Greenlee, I'm seeing Greenlee, he got something going. I said to him, Mr. Chairman, he said, yes, Mr. Adams. I said, don't we have a regulation that nobody records anything about? He said, yes, we do. Is someone doing that? I said, and I love Cracky like a brother.
Right.
I said, yes, we do. And I said, it's not Greenlee. And he said, yes. And he asked him to shut it off. Like that. And he said, but Cracky was crazy. We called him Cracky. That was his nickname.
But you remember, HBCIA, Graziano gave that building that's now next to the senior center. Graziano gave it to the city for $1 for office for HBCIA. So I don't know how Mary Savage allowed them to put her out of there because we were grandfathered in.
And the thing about it was when you have an urban renewal thing, that was the office.
Right.
Once it was through, that belonged to the citizens.
Right.
And Bob kept talking about it. They don't understand. I remember meeting with him.
Right.
Long after. Why don't they do that? And of course, you see what happened. City got a hold of it.
But see, the people who come in behind us, they don't read the reg. Remember when Bernie Larchbar used to tell us to read the Federal Register? Because in the Federal Register, it tells you a year before what the government is going to fund, back here. Hey,
When in his office, when you were listening the day we went to his office, and he wasn't there, they said he'll be back. No, at Kiernan's office.
Oh.
And that's poverty.
Right.
So what happened, he let us in. You might have been with us. But anyhow, what happened, we were in there by ourselves. And we looked around and we started picking stuff up. And then he came in his office. Oh, my God. He said, don't ever let them people in my office again. because we were picking up all this material.
That's right. Because Bernie told us don't never go any place unless you pick up some paper.
Picked up the Board of Education minutes. Helen Smith and I, they went to get their picture taken.
And Helen Smith was the one that, with the chair was education, that when we were talking about relief of overcrowding at Westinghouse, and we were picketing, the Board of Education, and we had a process how we could have taken children out to relieve the overcrowding. Burgh, Brown, and Edmonds went in with Wallace and negotiated the busing. It's not just a white man. Then they get somebody to sell you. Sell you. Yes. So,
We marched around the building.
We marched for a whole week.
And I remember marching around, and we were told, Barney told us, you can't get involved in that. So naturally, we marched anyhow.
Yeah.
And he's asked some questions, about it. We said to Bernie, what happened is they had to eat lunch. And so we would take the signs, and we'd hold them for them, and we marched around, and he looked at us as if to say, I know you all are telling me a lie.
Because Eugene, everybody called me and told me, Bernie said that you can't join the picket line.
Yeah.
I just said,
Yeah.
That's right. I was right down there at my lunchtime. My daughter and her friend Carla, and Carla was in the stroller with a sign, and she said, will the Board of Education be ready for me when I am ready for it? And she was only 5 years old, and we had a sign on her. So it was interesting.
But the thing that I drive home all the time is we're not telling this story to these blacks coming up.
Right.
None of this is told to them.
Dick, forgive me, everybody here.
Yeah, that's right.
Until we tell our children growing up that that bottom part of your body does two things. One of it is for joy, and the other one is for creation that grows to God. Now, you can have joy, but if you use creation and bring a child into the world, and you don't have a nurturing place for it, that is when you have done something wrong. The kids today are just, hey, here it is.
Yeah, that's right.
And don't understand what their body is supposed to do. Our churches have lost that conception of really teaching. Now, you can be creation, you can be evolution, whatever. Wow. But our bodies was created to continue the population. But we have a brain. And that is what happens with the young people who get involved with drugs. A female that is chemical dependent. The child that comes from that person, that brain lobe of values is not developed. So how are you going to teach somebody something when they don't have the ability to be able to understand what you're saying?
Well, the other thing is, if that value wasn't superimposed on them when they were coming up, and I contend that most parents do the best they can, with what they know.
Right.
But it's limited what they know, because those values, and I say we, and I'm including myself, we dropped the ball in the 70s simply because a lot of values that were superimposed on the moral, spiritual values that were superimposed on us fell by the wayside when it came to, in the 70s, do your own thing.
Right.
Okay, and so those children that used to go to church, those children that we used to...
But remember what I said, whether it was Khrushchev in the 60s or somebody else. When you destroy a family, the culture of a family, you have destroyed the community.
And
that's the bottom line.
And that was my contention, that we...